Any issues you'd like to campaign on?
We are campaigning on both local and national issues. We have a very strong policy platform, and we also have a lot of information on the ground as to what is going wrong here.
So what are your plans for the next 10 days?
The next 10 days we'll be walking the ground and meeting the residents, hearing their concerns.
Is there any specific strategy that you have regarding this campaign?
We'll be getting our message across to the residents, and if we can do that, I'm convinced that the attractiveness of our policies will win us votes.
And which is your
and the candidate, obviously.
And which is the key message you're trying to drive across?
This will be encapsulated in our slogan: "No more broken promises," both to the people of Punggol East and to the people of Singapore.
Okay. You only had a minute to address your supporters, right? I mean, now you have the time. Do you have anything else you want to say?
We'll vote for us. Yeah, because we have the best. We will work hard for you, and we will make sure we will not be fearless in bringing up issues in Parliament. We will ensure that the wealth of Singapore goes to Singaporeans.
Would you like to say hi to Dr. Koh? He's right behind you.
Yes.
Dr. Koh.
Our plans next are we'll be making house-to-house visits this evening, and this afternoon we will be getting our posters up, finalising our flyers.
What will be your key strategy for the 10 days of campaigning ahead?
Our key strategy will be to get our message across to the voters of Punggol East. We'll be using both online and house-to-house visits and election rallies.
And what is the key message?
Our message is, it was in my nomination speech, no more broken promises.
You have chosen to do the doorstop in this plaza. Why?
To highlight the fact that the previous MP, I understand work actually stopped in about February or March of 2012, and nothing really happened until September. And then it was actually only, this highlights the fact that it was only after I visited here on the 17th of December that the PAP, the DPM said that they were going to speed up the work and finish it by April. They were appointing a secondary contractor. So why did it take so long? And why did the other candidate, apart from not raise this as an issue? Where was she during the 18 months between GE 2011 and now?
Is Riverville Plaza going to be the central concern of your campaign this time around?
No, there's a whole raft of concerns of residents. We include poor public transport. I mean, unlike one of the candidates, who owns 2 more cars than I do. I use public transport, and the links are pretty bad. The LRT operates infrequently out of peak hours, and the carriages are too small and low capacity. Obviously, I can't promise to get this changed, but I will highlight it, and I will be independent of the PAP, so I will have no concerns about bringing these issues up. When everything is interconnected, when there's a conflict of interest, when the government owns the land and has the freehold of the properties, it's very difficult to get anything done.
And you promised to unveil plans for Punggol East upon securing the nominations. What plans do you have now for Punggol East?
Our plans we will be putting out a 5-year plan with the concerns of residents, but as I said previously, we can't promise millions of dollars, unlike some of the parties.
And what will go into this 5-year plan?
Sorry?
What will go into this 5-year plan?
But that will be disclosed later. We're still working on it. Thank you.
You mentioned your message is no more broken promises. Can you explain what does that mean?
I think it's broken promises both on the local level, Michael Palmer promised a modern shopping centre at Rivervale Plaza. That hasn't been done. He promised a new community centre. He promised better transport links, which hasn't really happened. You can look around yourselves and see the issues. But there are broken promises all the way at the national level. I highlighted last night that Goh Chok Tong promised Singaporeans a Swiss standard of living, I think, 20 years ago. Where is that? Singaporeans are working longer hours for less pay.
Has the Reform Party been walking the ground in Punggol East before this?
We have accomplished more than I think any of the 9 opposition MPs in Parliament or the government for Punggol East, merely by coming down here and highlighting it. I mean, where were the other candidates? Were they on the ground? Did they bring this issue to the attention?
When you mean on the ground, what do you actually mean by that?
Well, were the other candidates walking the ground?
Since
2011.
Since 2011?
Yeah.
So are you saying that you and
No.
the party have been walking around?
No, I said that where were the other candidates since GE 2011?
And you have been walking here since 2011?
No, I didn't say that. Of course not.
How are you different from the other candidates who didn't walk?
Because we visited here on the 17th of December and immediately we got a reaction from the government.
What draws you to Punggol East then this time around? Because you didn't contest in GE 2011.
Well, we want to take our message to Singaporeans. We are a new party. We've accomplished a tremendous amount in the last 3 years. We are not 50 years old like some of the other parties out there. But we believe that we have the best policies and we can work to get the best future for Singaporeans.
Okay, in this four-corner fight, who is the biggest competitors?
I wouldn't speculate on that. I think they're all serious candidates.
And how confident are you of winning the...
Right. I think I said only a fool would be supremely confident of victory. But we are happy that our policies and our candidate will resonate with the voters here. I have promised to move into Punggol East if I'm elected. I don't own a car, I take public transport, so I will experience firsthand the problems of the residents and I will be able to work to improve their lives.
What do you think is the advantage against the other 3 parties who have been here in the last 3 years?
Well, I think that not only will we be in touch with local issues through our network and we will be fearless about bringing them up and working to resolve them, but our stance on national issues is well known. I have done more than the other opposition MPs to highlight the fact that we need accountability over our reserves.
So you mentioned on Facebook that you have already sold your condo. So when do you sell your condo and where are you staying now?
I'm currently staying with a friend at the moment, yeah.
And when do you sell a condo and why do you sell it?
Because actually that's not a question I wish to answer anyway. I don't think that's relevant, really. Yeah.
So some online media have said that just now at the by-election area that they didn't see any supporters on the ground. Do you have anything to say about that?
As I said before, we're a new party, so we may not, with limited resources, so we don't have the same infrastructure as some of the established parties that have been going 50 years. But mark my words, we've come a long way in 3 years. And,
You hope to see more supporters coming down for your
definitely, yeah, obviously.
Mr. Kenneth, just a question here. There have been a lot of calls online with regards to the idea of opposition unity and the fact that FDP...
Well, let me just say to you that we said to... I wrote to Mr. Lowe suggesting that we meet, and so did SDP, and we were rebuffed. So how can there be opposition unity when one party doesn't want to listen to the others or sit down and discuss it?
When did you write this letter?
I said that we've been in communication over the last month. Yeah.
But are you, as the opposition party, and then now that that's confirmed going to be a four-corner fight, people are saying that you're going to, you're going to not let, the PAP are going to win more votes because of the fact that...
You cannot hold back choice. I think this is ridiculous, the idea that I was there first, I choked the seat. I choke the constituency. Nobody else can come in. I'm sure if you were a company, take Kodak. They would have liked to say, we have choked the photography market. Nobody else comes in. Yeah. It's unfair to the residents of Punggol East and unfair to the people of Singapore. They should be given a chance to. How will you ever get new parties? How will you ever get new ideas if they have to go through existing structures?
So you don't think that having a four-corner fight is playing to the advantage of PAP?
I think that it's presenting the voters with a choice. Yeah. I think that we will attract voters who may not have voted for WP in any instance.
You actually mentioned that just now you said it's a David versus Goliath fight, right? You
Yeah.
have acknowledged that. Are you confident of at least of getting back your deposit?
Of course, otherwise we wouldn't have entered. Yeah.
Who are the Goliaths in this case? Is it all the three parties?
I think it's clear who the Goliaths are.
So it's
Yeah.
not all three of them?
No.
So with regards to your 5-year plan, when do you intend to reveal it?
Sorry?
With regards to your plan for Punggol East, when do you intend to reveal it?
We'll be revealing it in the next week or so.
Next week?
Yeah.
Is there any aspect or initial plans of the plan you can actually tell us right now?
Not at the moment, no.
Can I ask a question? You've mentioned a few times that your party is small. And
Yeah, we're gathering feedback.
So how do you, if you do win the seat, how do you see yourself serving the residents of Punggol East, given that your party is so small? And
Well, certainly I used to manage hundreds of millions of dollars. So managing, running a town council won't be so hard after that. But we will be able to call on a lot of help. I've had offers of help with software. Who knows? We might even find a company willing to lease the right software to us.
What are the local issues that you're going to tackle in the next coming 1 year?
Well, I think I've mentioned, these are issues that are specific to Punggol, but also general to most Singaporeans, most estates. Things like poor public transport links in the outlying areas, lack of facilities, yes, poor estate maintenance. Yeah.
So what's your views on the incumbent party's candidate, the biggest opposition party candidate, and also Desmond?
Now, I'm not going to, I won't be drawn into giving my views on each of the candidates. All I can say is that the PAP have broken promises repeatedly, both to the people of Punggol and to the people of Singapore. Where was the WP between G2011 and now? Where was their candidate?
Do you have a message for your opponents? You have a message for the
I think
residents?
it would be to support us. I will work for you in Parliament both on daily issues, everyday issues, and at the highest level. I will see that you get a better deal from this government.
What about your opponents? Do you have a message for them?
I wish them all the best.
Do you plan to visit all residents in Punggol East?
I doubt we will try, but given this is only about a quarter the size of the West Coast, but given the rapidity with which the PM called a by-election and the very short 9 days of campaigning, it's unlikely that we'll be able to visit every resident, but we will try.
Aside from house visits,
in most countries, the period of campaigning is at least 3 weeks. And that's how it should be, to give proper time for the voters to hear the different candidates' ideas.
Aside from house visits, what else do you plan to do?
We will be holding election rallies.
How many
We will
rallies?
be spreading our message on the web. We will be distributing flyers.
Any indication of how many rallies are going to be?
We're not sure yet. It would be probably 2 or 3.
Could you also say again, in the past 3 years, you keep mentioning that RP has come a long way. You've gained strength. Can you list out some examples of that, and maybe in the number of supporters that has joined the party?
Well, I think it's a phenomenal result, but within 2 years of the party's founding, and with the founder of the party dying, we contested a GE, and our share of the vote was the same as a party that had been going for 30 years.
And moving on from
and
there,
we contested with the same number of candidates, and we scored a much higher share of the national vote than SPP or SDA. So I think that's, a phenomenal achievement.
aside from election results, what else has the party done since then, until today?
We've been we've been fighting for accountability from this government. I think to put the question on its head, what has the government done since GE 2011 to answer the concerns of residents, of Singaporeans? What have they done? The Singaporeans are facing falling real incomes, higher inflation, skyrocketing housing prices caused by the government's immigration policies and an artificial shortage of land. So what is the government doing? And what did the opposition parties do in Parliament? What have they done they have voted with the government on the budget. They've voted with the government on every issue. Is that what Singaporeans want? I think that's ill-serving them.
And what edge do you think they have over the other 3 parties who have contested here before?
I think that our policies and the fact that we are prepared to ask questions and get answers.
And what do you think are the best men for Punggol East?
Because I will serve the people of Punggol East with all my heart and my head, and I will work to see that they get the best deal. A fool would be supremely confident. Obviously, we've been given very little time to prepare. We are a small new party, but we believe that our quality will show.
Can I just find out? I mean, many have deemed you as a weaker candidate as compared to the others, especially the PAP and the Workers' Party. What are your thoughts on that? And also the questions that why
who
did you
had
decide, the majority of the public sentiment say that you are a weaker candidate because Lilian has
really have any public opinion polls been taken?
Are you able to answer the question?
Have any public opinion polls been taken?
What about the opinions who deemed you as a weaker candidate? Can you comment on that?
I'd say they're absolute rubbish. Right.
Anything else?
Right. Here you have a PAP candidate or the incumbent MP who didn't keep his promises to the people of Punggol East, who's himself was the very own example of a broken promise, and you have a candidate who went missing in action after GE 2011. Yeah.
Do you have any comments on
my record speaks for itself in posing questions. I've done more out of Parliament than 9 opposition MPs have done in Parliament. I have tried to ensure that we get full accountability for the national reserves. I've tried to ask questions about the management of those reserves and why we don't seem to be getting the returns we should be getting. I have asked for accountability before our money is loaned out to other countries where the people enjoy a better welfare system than they do in Singapore.
Can I just have short comments on what you think about this 4-cornered fight?
I think that I'm not worried about that. We are taking our policies and our message to the people of Punggol, and so far we've received a very warm response.